me! Draw me! Draw me! Draw me!
Aww. Okay. Welcome to Shawnward Draws. I'm Shawnward, and you heard the tiny space lady. Today we'll be drawing characters from the Metroid series in stained glass. But enough chit-chat, let's go to the computer. The computer that's right behind me. See you there! For those of you who don't know, Metroid is a Nintendo franchise, with the original appearing on the Nintendo Entertainment System in America. Now you may be asking, Shawnward, why draw Metroid in a stained glass style? Why not just do it in a traditional style? And the reason for that is over winter, and really over a lot of last year, I was creating this beauty for my sister. I had seen a piece of artwork like this online from Zelda the Wind Waker series, in this beautiful stained glass style, and I thought to myself, I want one of those. I want something like that, but I want to do it myself. Whereas this one I painted traditionally. What I'm going to be doing here in just a moment and over the next few days is actually creating Metroid in digital art, and hopefully it's something that I'll be able to put on t-shirts or what have you and enjoy later for myself. So that is why I am doing this today, and I am quite excited. So here's the plan in a nutshell. We are going to be taking Samus and the Metroid series, and we'll be taking the stained glass art style, and we'll be throwing them into a art style blender. We'll just get in there, stained glass, and get in there, Samus. No! And we'll take those, we'll turn our blender on, we'll have a little bit of me. And the question is, what will come out of that? And that's what we're going to find out today, because right now, I don't know. But let's get started! I started everything off with a couple of concept sketches, using some images as a guide to draw. Once I had come up with something I was happy with, I decided to move to a small thumbnail, to see how everything looked together. Oh my, you weren't supposed to see those. Those are nothing, just, ignore those. After sketching thumbnails, I moved on to a full-size sketch. Once I was happy with my drawing, I traced over the lines to darken the piece and to prepare it for digital drawing. Metroid games in general do a great job of conveying strong feelings. In the same way, I wanted this piece to really draw you towards certain emotions. Samus looking up to the sky and the distant planets are meant to convey a sense of mystery, but also loneliness. The Metroid creature in the background is a subtle reminder that the planet Samus is on is wild, unknown, and most of all, dangerous.
It's time for drawing lines with Shawnward. There's a line. A line there. Line segment. This has been Drawing Lines with Shawnward.
Alright, so here is our stained glass drawing so far, just inked in. I'm about to do coloring. I'm going to skip over that part in the video. I'll come back in when we're doing the detail work and things like that, but really, I don't think paint bucket's that exciting, you know. Click, click, click. Oh, look, it's all colored. One thing I will note is that I actually did the stained glass lines on a separate layer. You can see here's the stained glass lines gone, and here's the layer with the stained glass lines. If you're planning on doing this at home, you might find that more helpful. If you're going to use the paint bucket tool, you just click, 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 and then you can put the stained glass lines back on afterwards. The other thing that I didn't really talk about earlier in the video was that I usually start my work this way. I take my sketch and I take a picture with it, either with my cell phone or with my computer camera, and then I draw over that. Some people will, instead of doing this on paper, will just do it directly to a computer. I'm traditionally a hand-drawn artist, and that's still where I find my comfort zone. Honestly, just do what you're comfortable with. And this, to be honest, is just how I roll. The hardest part at this point was deciding how to shade everything. It would have been easy enough to add shadow and highlights the way I normally would, but my goal was to make everything stained glassy. To do that, I first selected each stained glass piece individually. Then I used the gradient tool to create gradients in semi-random patterns. I was hoping that this randomization would make the piece more believable. Overall, I am very happy with the effect. To finish everything off, I created a new layer in which I used a watercolor brush tool to create a more random texture pattern. Finally, I lowered the opacity of the texture to create a subtle and yet polished final piece. Can you see my excitement? I am so excited with how this came out today, guys. It is one of my favorite projects I've worked on in a long time. I was really nervous at the end whenever I was applying the colors and the gradients. It looked good, but having that that background effect of the kind of stained glass texture showing through, I think really does help the piece overall come out. It was a lot of fun to make this project. I am definitely going to look into putting this on a t-shirt for myself, so if you see me wearing it in a couple weeks, you know what happened. Other than that, I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, hit that notification bell, subscribe, and tell some friends. Any way you can support the channel really does help me to continue to bring you, hopefully, these awesome drawings. I really hope you enjoy. And I would close us out with some kind of big goodbye, but I'm not good at closing, so I guess I'll just do this.